and day 13 of the 28-day video challenge. Today, it was all about resilience and my take on willpower and what gets an entrepreneur through the ups and downs of business life, of life, in fact. I don't want to tell of my resilience because you see, I have got a channel called No Story Stagnates where I've interviewed business owners and people of interest, and I've allowed them, and I'm grateful that they've done it, to tell their story. Their story from before they were born to where they are now, and all of the traumas and victories in between. And every one of them has had both stories. I start off by asking my guest if they remember or if they knew how their mother and father met. You see, I believe that if you know how your mother and father met, you know your story from before you were born, and therefore are most likely to want to maybe try and carry on that story. I ask people for stories between the ages of 1 and 10. And it's in this age group that very often stories of some trauma come up. Trauma when, as very young children, we had little control over what happened to us. Stories we remembered. Stories that were so memorable that they're the first ones that come to mind when that question is asked. Then I ask for stories between 11 and 15, 16 to 20, because I believe teenage years are very important. Particularly the early years are where we are as men, as boys, and probably as girls, going through that period where we start to learn about the opposite sex and start to get those urges which lead us into the future. And then 16 to 20, we're starting to talk about university, work, making those decisions which are going to be our financial steps in the future. And very often, of course, where we do meet and settle down, perhaps with our future wife. 20 to 30, where we start to think about families, having our own family, and promotions at work, perhaps, or travel, holidays, expenses, homes, all the things that will plan and will perhaps be a lifeline, be a roadmap to our future. 30 to 40, where we're talking about our own families and perhaps breakups of marriage, trauma, redundancies, certainly in my experience. 40 to 50. Now we're talking about looking forward to retirement, maybe. Our family has grown up and maybe moved away. It may be just you and your wife, your partner. I say that because I am still a single man, and there's reasons for that. 50 to 60. Now, hopefully by this time, you have settled into what will be a pathway for the future for most of people. It wasn't in my case, but that's by the by. 70, and which is where I am now, we do start to realize that we are in the end game. And maybe 20, maybe 30 years, but it is the end game. We've got grandchildren. Their world, their lives are different to ours. And then we talk about 80 to 90. And the people we grew up with have died. And we realize that this is our fate. And we hope that we've made the impact that we wanted to make on the people around us. For good, we hope. And then, if we reach the 100, let's see. So there we are. Resilience, our lives. And if you are interested in No Story Stagnates, get in touch. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.